Today, due to a letter which was written by the AIC Kenya Milimani. The letter is dated 8 September 2026, and the letter was written to the Chairman, National Land Commission, Nairobi. And that was a complaint letter, and I wrote a letter, an invitation letter, to welcome the concerned members with respect to our letter dated 16th of April 2026, and I wrote to the full gospel churches of Kenya and London, Nakuru, through the area assistant chief, London sub-location Nakuru. I hope you got the letters, that's why we are here. And also you got the attached copy of the complaint letter.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, thank you. So I can read the complaint letter and then we can proceed, because that is the matter which was brought by the AIC Nakuru to the Chairman, National Land Commission, and the letter is dated 8 September 2026. And the title of the letter, or the subject matter, is request to investigate, determine, resolve on the land boundary dispute between AIC Milimani, Nakuru, and the Full Gospel Churches of Kenya, London, on parcel number Nakuru Municipality Block 21/747 and Block 21/589. And the letter reads: receive greetings in Jesus' name. AIC Kenya and AIC Milimani Nakuru hereby request your office under Article 67, subsection 2, Constitution of Kenya, to address the matter mentioned above and issue. The issue had previously been brought to your attention by one of our congregants, Mr. Tom Boya Ochieng, CEO Coupling International. We would like you to investigate the following. 1. AIC Nakuru was the initial allottee of the entire portion of land covering the 2 parcels of land mentioned above. However, nobody appears to have an explanation as to why and how AIC Milimani finally ended with just a third of the original portion of land or thereabout. Secondly, the documents available in various offices within the Ministry of Lands, Commissioner of Lands, Survey of Kenya, and Physical Planning Department, reveal glaring inconsistencies that point towards unethical transactions and malpractices, which abetted fraudsters to process unlawful tenure documents. Third, the neighboring Full Gospel Church, London, made use of the tampered documents to make incursions into the portion of land that AIC Milimani Nakuru claims to be the rightful beneficiary. Fourth, there have been persistent efforts to cover up the said malpractices by making records unavailable for public scrutiny, both at the lands offices and even within the likely judge offices that they will normally be deposited. We would like to underscore the fact that the parcels of land above were former public land, and the government had issued an allotment letter to African Inland Church Kenya to be issued by AIC Milimani Nakuru. Through an opaque, clandestine, and fraudulent process, AIC Milimani Nakuru got a third of the entire portion, with the neighboring Full Gospel Churches of Kenya, London, obtaining 2/3 of the portion of the land. Yours sincerely, Peter Mushai. And the letter was copied to Secretary, AIC Milimani Nakuru Local Church Council. Peter Mushai is the Secretary, AIC Milimani Local Church Council, and the letter was copied to NLC County Coordinator Nakuru, which is our office, It was also copied to Nakuru Area Bishop, Nakuru ACC, and it was copied to Mr. Tom Boyer Ocheng, CEO, Coupling International. The letter we received in our office on 29 October 2025. That is the copy of the letter. And it was written to Chairman, National Land Commission. So we wrote a letter inviting the parties, that is the Full Gospel Churches of Kenya. We wrote a letter on 16th of April 2026 through the Area Assistant Chief, London, Nakuru. And the referent of the matter is complaint from AIC Kenya Milimani Nakuru concerning land parcel Nakuru, Municipality Block 21, stroke 747 verses 589. And our letter, which was for the invitation, states, the above matter quoted refers, a complaint was made by the AIC Kenya Milimani Nakuru Local Church Council, filed a letter dated 8th of September 2025 to the National Land Commission headquarters by a copy attached for ease of reference, and a copy made to NLC County Coordination Office Nakuru concerning the above mentioned matter. To enable our office get facts and assess the matter, you are invited for a meeting as below, that is today at this boardroom. And the letter I signed, and I copied the letter to CEO, National Land Commission, Nairobi. I copied also the letter to AIC Area Bishop. I copied the letter to Tom Boyer Ocheng, CEO, Coupling Limited, International, Coupling International. And also later, I also copied the letter to Chairman AIC Kenya Milimani Nakuru Local Church Council. And that is the brief of the matter, which was brought to our office, and also it was taken to Nairobi National Land Commission. So with that effect, I'll give the complainant an opportunity also to state if he was the one who authored the letter, and also to present if he can clarify the complaint further. So that is...
Maybe, Chair, before we invite the complainant, maybe I can raise a minor but very important issue. According to my view. We have introduced all ourselves, and that's very good. We have known each other through those introductions. This is a church matter. These kind of affairs are normally run by registered trustees of the church. And the only registered trustee I've had introduce himself who would have the locus to address the issue is this one. The registered trustee from my side is this one. The others have not had any registered trustee. That is one thing that I would like the maybe Chair you address, because we need to engage our conversation here, because it's not really a case, it's a conversation we're discussing with the legitimate office holders. I have a list of the registered trustees of the AIC Church myself, and none of these people is one of them. None of them. The reason why I'm raising that is that this body is quasi-judicial body. And it can decide those preliminary issues. I had the opportunity of engaging with Mr. Tom Boyer. And you have heard him introduce himself as CEO of Coupling International. This could be an NGO. He never talked about himself being the trustee of the church. I had the opportunity to engage with him in court over the same issues. When he presented the case himself, and he lost that case. Just let me finish. And he lost that case. But of importance is let me know whether we are really engaging ourselves with the legitimate office holders of AIC and Food Gospel, because they are normally not even pastors, not even elders, not even church goers like me, but the legitimate office holders who are registered trustees of the church. I have a list of the AIC, I have a list of these people. I know who they are, and I told them when they came to me with this letter, without a trustee, we cannot transact businesses.
Yeah, from the letter, it was wrote by Peter Mushai, who is the Secretary, AIC Milimani Nakuru Local Church Council. So if he's present, and then who is Peter Mushai? You are the one who authored the letter? You are representing the trustee, or the trustee is here?
By extension, we have our area treasurer who is representing our area. You say on the ground the trustee is represented.
As you have heard, it says on the ground, the trustee is represented.
And our bishop is a trustee, Bishop Minor, and he sent me. Yes.
The reason why I'm saying this with a due respect, these ones are my clients. You should not forget that I'm also representing the AIC elsewhere in other matters. And they have always furnished me with a list of the trustees. Keratin AIC, and I do know that. So even if you tell us mine and so forth, we know the trustees here. And if they authorize you to represent them here, this is some letter of appointment actually represent us. If it is it can be delegated. But I have a list of your church trustees because they are my client also in other matters. So please let us deal with if I bring some people here and you can't recognize them and they want to contribute to this discussion, of course you raise issues. Who are these strangers? If I tell them no, he's the treasurer of the local church, he's not that. And a Bishop Moneki, you don't know him. So please let us deal with the legitimate office holders. I think that way we can be able to advance this discussion. That's my view. But it is subject to the chair and the panel to decide on whether we can, whichever is there, but those are the issues.
Wakili, thank you for that. Yeah, our office also, we can give an opportunity to present because he wrote a letter from the church, and if he's a participant of that church, he said he's the secretary of that particular church. So we can give an opportunity because he's the secretary of that particular church, and also our office want to get facts and assess the matter. Is it within the NLC mandate? So we can give him an opportunity to present, and then also our office will assess the facts and if it is within the mandate of the NLC. So at the moment, it is the preliminary stage to assess if it is within their complaint, if their complaint is within the mandate of NLC.
Maybe without going to the gravamen of the matter before the NLC.
Yes.
And I've said that I know this is a possible issue.
Yeah.
And we're not doing the case. We're just having a conversation and looking at the I don't know whether chair with respect, if the panel does not mind dealing with people who are not identifiable in an issue brought to the NLC. Because I know your decision here or your findings or your preliminary issues will be recorded because this is a place of record.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you will mind if I introduce somebody and tell you this is a follower of Gospel Church from Joro. Listen to him. I'm not telling you that. I'm asking that because do you care as a chair and the panel, the locus of us here? Do you care who appears before you with an argument or with a complaint? You first find out what is your capacity as a complainant and what is your capacity as the defendant or the person brought before the panel, so that we don't deal with unqualified people. The fact that he wrote the complaint I have no problem with the complaint he wrote. But does he have the capacity to do that on behalf of a full church of the AIC? My issue is just the locus standi of us here. We don't have the problem with the panel. I have the problem with these people because when I'll come to address, I'll not tell these people to talk. They are not registered trustees. They don't keep any records. They don't run the affairs of this Kanisa. Them, they are just people who are paid salaries to preach and possibly attend Kanisa. So I'll only hand it over to a registered trustee because he's a custodian of everything. He's a manager of the affairs of the AIC countrywide with others. So how do we deal with this side? Whether the locus capacity, the locus standard of us is of importance is a crucial point. A crucial point.
So Mr. Mushai addressed that issue of the trustee.
Let me say from the outset, we are dealing with two different institutions. And maybe we deal with our issues differently. Full Gospel and AIC. In AIC, let me say, the local churches on the ground are the ones who deal with issues of land up to the point whereby tenure has been obtained. And it is only when the tenure has been obtained, when the document of tenure is submitted to the trustee to keep as custody. They never at any one time get involved in how and when these documents were obtained, up to the point whereby it has finally been obtained and then submitted to the trustee. So we cannot say that the people on the ground have no locus. They are the ones who initiate the acquisition of property, and upon acquisition is now surrendered to the trustee. So don't you see that is a contradiction?
So the trustee is the area bishop.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So when I see from the letter, from the complaint letter, it was copied to Nakuru area bishop. Which means, is he aware of the matter?
Very well, yes.
So, okay.
Yeah. As we said, we are in a competition.
Yes, yeah.
We are not in litigation.
Yeah.
Bishops are not necessarily registered trustees. And I'll give them an example. The registered trustee of PCEA Church is the Presbyterian Foundation. That's the registered trustee. So if you have anything to raise, any legal issues, you go through the Presbyterian Foundation. And I want it to be understood. If I have a matter for the AIC, like I do, for the AIC Keratina, there is a Bishop Mwaniki there. He's not a trustee. He's actually the one who forwarded to me the list of the trustees, so that I can deal with their issues of land, just like this one. Between them, where they have been there from the year 2013 to date, 13 years, more than 13 years. And you are aware of that. Surely, I would have done it very easily through the bishop. Your bishop is always a registered trustee. He is not one of the registered trustees. And therefore he said he does not even have the locus. Please have this list and proceed with it to court. So when you tell us that merely because the complaint was shared with the bishop, and that the bishop is a registered trustee, I have a list, he's not one of them. Bishops are not necessarily trustees. And even if you have an issue Once you surrender the documents to the headquarters after the acquisition, the mandate of running the affairs and pushing the affairs for the church are bestowed upon the trustees. So I told you this was yes. You must bring the trustee with yourself. Just like the AIC people have told me I can't act without the names of the trustees. So why don't we have the trustees both sides? They are the custodian of this information. They are the people who run the day-to-day affairs of the church from the headquarters. You give them the documents because they are not only the custodians, they are the people who can be taken to court and who can go to court. It is just not a very difficult exercise. Even if we had at least one registered trustee amongst yourself and myself with one, we would be okay. But if we have people saying, I'm an elder, no, me, I go to that church, no, I belong to this international body, I think we may lose the foothold, the grand norm of us proceeding, the beginning of everything. Because let me waver a little bit, because the reason why we have been in court over that matter of the AIC Keratina since 2013 is because Kimani went and sued pastors, Kenanyaga and others, and you are aware. First of all, but how do you come with how do you sue pastors? Shepherds of the flock. They don't own anything. They don't run the affairs of the church. That's why Kimani has not been able to remove Keratina Church from his own land since that time. So let me come here, not with people who can not identifiable as the legitimate trustees, and let you do the same. We shall still transact this business in all fairness and from an equal footing. That is just my view. So that at least if you are the judge, today, for example, we had a case and it had to be pushed to July. Why? Because there was a question whether the other advocate has practicing certificate from Narok. Whereas I have evidence he doesn't have. Him is saying he has. Oh, he was told no. Until we first clarify whether you are a lawyer. He would have been hard because he has filed his documents and he has signed them, but he has not been told that question has arisen. Go and resolve it from the Law Society first. So can we resolve this issue of representation? And we shall still go on. Nothing will be lost. Your church is there. This other church is there. The issues that are there are very minor. They'll be resolved. But let us have the appropriate locus standi of each side. And we shall still transact this business. We'll be available. Much as we apologize for being late, next time we shall not be late. I can promise. But we need that level playing ground. And with people with the capacity. We are not saying that you'll be shut out. We are not saying this was as should be shut out. We recognize and respect our senior elders here, but we need the people who move the wheels of the AIC, and we shall go home. That's my view.
Mr. Mushai, Peter Mushai, do you have, maybe you can respond to what he has said on the constitutionality of the AIC present here?
Wakil is right in what he said about trusteeship and locus. But if I can correctly read the letter that was written by yourself, that letter was to verify facts. Was to verify facts today. It was not a proceeding. It was to verify facts. Facts which even if you ask the trustee to come here, will only ask us, the people on the ground, to avail those facts. So unless you want the trustee to bar a certain event from taking place, because locus does not prevent facts from being presented as the letter has been written.
Yes, thank you so much. And I'm glad Bwana Karanja has been able to share what he, quote unquote, he said his personal opinion in a preliminary objection. Equally, we have opinions which can also be factored in this matter at this early stage. And two, having said that I'm the Chief Executive Officer of GapLink International, which is a duly registered institution in this country in the year 2008, okay? And the mandate of this organization is to help marginalized communities. In fact, I've projected it for your own convenience, to overcome their socioeconomic challenges through enhancing their capacities to demand, advocate for democratic governance, accountability, transparent leadership, prudence and equity in resource management, appropriate response to the needs of the special population, and coexistence of security and humanity. Why do I start by that? Initially, this matter had been taken to the courts, and the matter that Karanja raises, he raised it then. It took the AIC church to go back to the drawing board, and out of that, as late as last weekend on Saturday, there was a meeting chaired by the trustee, and out of their structure, delegated. And that's where Mzee is here on behalf. The second bit, as per Mr. Mushai's assertion about issues of evidence, this basically, as the report, or rather what is happening, is not ending there. It will still go to other levels. But today was about a fact-finding mission of what is there and what is not there. And probably it also may assist the other institution, probably Full Gospel, to put their paperwork also in order, as well as AIC. But it was independently where we are going to put and to demonstrate as GapLink International what we have in our possession, okay? And since we have been given that locus by the head of AIC when he called for a meeting on the same, and I would want to express what internal management and governance is all about. It is about the line of AIC where the presiding bishop called on and the area bishop was called upon, and a meeting was engaged, and I, having been the one who raised this matter, and two, that I am formally, or rather before then, have been attending in AIC as an adherent, so I consume a lot of that fact. And two, that we've engaged to certain levels, and that's what we want to present. Not unless you don't want to see that, then it would be very clear. But the demonstration of what we want to make today is ideally the main thing. Then from there, we can move to the next level. Two, I know former presiding area leader, Reverend Ndungu, who is out in the US, also called and shared much of what he had, because he's the one who received this from the late President Moi and gave us his authorization, and also had been here and gone on the matter of legality, gone to the DCI, and also tendered this statement of the same facts. So today it was about basically putting the facts, and as GapLink, we are mandated constitutionally to help marginalized communities overcome their socio-economic challenges through enhancing their capacities. We can still enhance full gospel, we can enhance AIC, we are not restricted to which entity we can enhance. Their capacity to demand and advocate for democratic governance, accountable and transparent leadership, prudence and equity in resource management, appropriate response to needs of special population, which is a need for the special population. Already, there are a number of things that have been captured there that probably we might not talk at this stage, but remember, even the children, there's already
Maybe
an institution there.
Coupling, we are out of order.
Thank you.
Because, you have transgressed from what we were discussing. First, we were discussing if the AIC is well constituted in terms of representation. That's what the Wakil was saying. So that is the part we are in. First, is AIC well constituted in terms of the representation?
At this particular point, I believe so. Because today, we are on a fact-finding mission. We are not on a case. We are not on a case. We are on a fact-finding mission. And as I said earlier, the letter itself, as it is addressed, does not call for a trustee to travel all the way to come on a fact-finding mission.
Chair, okay. And do equal cuts, ratio of local standard. He has said that equal cast with our position on the issue of local standard. Even if it is a fact-finding mission, tendering of documents and of course deliberating on them. The question is, are we dealing with the registered trustees? Or as you are putting it, that is the work of the trustee, but even if they were here, they would still ask you for guidance. That is why I brought this man as a registered trustee, notwithstanding that his officials are here, or bishops. Because I knew that for me to have the local standard to address these issues, whether facts, whether evidence, I'll need somebody with the capacity to do that. And the only person with the capacity under the Societies Act, especially for the church, is the registered trustees. Even if you have one, like I have brought, he's the one who can question what you are saying. Even if he has the guidance of the others, he's the one who can speak for and on behalf of the church. Not his elders, not his bishops, not his pastors. So that being the position, therefore, I am of the view that much as you can be the elders and the bishops in that church, you still lack the capacity. But if you have a trustee amongst yourself registered as given to me by your church, I'll have no problem. We can transact the business. But transacting the business with people with unidentifiable by way of being the officials of this Kanisa, next time we shall have another one from your church. Next time we shall have yet another one. Because you have so many elders, you have so many bishops. That is why the church is run officially through registered trustees. So that it is controllable, it's identifiable, and there are people who are mandated to deal with church affairs. So if you have that, we have no problem. But if you want to tender materials and in the name of facts and what have you, we are still raising that issue of your capacity to do that. If you can surmount that, we have no problem. That's why I brought Bishop Samuel Geto here. It's not only a trustee, he's a regional overseer. But I can't bring him as a regional overseer here. Because as a regional overseer alone is not enough. He must be a trustee. So if we can surmount that, we can. And as I said, Bwana Mushai, with due respect, Mr. Mushai, Bishop Mushai, you see you are my senior. All of you people, and I respect everybody here. There is really nothing lost in this issue. You are people of this town. And as you said, you opened your complaint in the name of Jesus Christ, we shall still meet here again and transact these businesses. But bring the right people for us to transact the business, please.
Yeah, thank you,
That's my
Wakili. Yeah, in my view too, in terms of the administrative structure and the legal perspective, there is a need to have either the trustee or a written authority to represent the trustee on such matters like that you can deal, so that when we are discussing as per the trustee's authority. That is on the legal and administrative perspective of the matter. So, if convenient, and then you can allow the trustee, or you can inform the trustee to be available next time. Maybe you can let us know the availability, and then we give both parties the opportunity to hear their views, the complainant and also the other party to respond. I think that will be in a fair administrative justice.
That's better.
Yeah, for both parties. For at times some matters can go even to the court. So the court might also look for the procedure. Was the procedure followed?
Yeah.
Was there presentation with the legal aspect of it? So in that regard, if convenient to both parties, and then we can have the trustees or their legal representative, maybe.
That's better.
Shy.
I would also be obliged for that matter, because nothing can be solved today, even if we sit until evening. And what the issue Wakili has raised has not been addressed, then it means that we are just going to have a friendly discussion and nothing will be resolved. Then I believe it is only wise to let the office of the trustee, the presiding bishop of AIC, get to grips with this matter, and as we are being advised to give the proper delegation of trusteeship to the people on the ground, so that we can handle the matter. Because I believe, finally, you may never see the face of the presiding bishop in this office. He will delegate, and the matter will be expedited duly.
Thank you. Our aim was just to get facts and assess the matter, and if it is within the NLC mandate, and then we could have discussed further, but because of the constitution of the parties, the trustees not available from one AIC, Kenya, then now we are not proceeding. Or if in any case the full gospel accept, we proceed to see if the facts is okay, then we can proceed on that aspect. But if they insist to see both the trustee of the AIC, and then we have no need to continue the meeting, it will be good to adjourn until maybe at such time, maybe the trustee of the AIC will be available, because we have to give both parties the opportunity to be heard, and also to determine if it is within the mandate of the AIC, within the mandate of the NLC.
Chair, I appreciate very much your observation. Very well founded. Maybe we cannot adjourn indefinitely. We can possibly agree that maybe in 2 or 3 weeks' time, both parties will have resolved the issue of representation, then we can appear before you. That would be okay, because we also want it to be expeditiously disposed of. So if you can give us, if your diary can allow, for 3 weeks or so, either you can communicate to us in those 3 weeks so that everybody can organize their houses in terms of the representation. We appreciate the letter of complaint came last year. It has taken some time. We know that actually NLC is quite a very busy organization here, very busy commission. And we appreciate your work, by the way, especially how you have handled it in our locality, in our county, and other places. So let us, nothing is lost, as you said. We shall still come here. And as Mr. Mushai, my senior, has said, we shall still come here and have an expeditious disposal of this matter, one way or the other. So let us go back to the drawing board on our side, their side, then come back again. Yeah.
Thank you. As NLC, we urge all the parties, if an alternative dispute resolution mechanism is used to solve land matters, that will be good.
Yeah.
And also it will reduce the time, and also it will reduce the legal hassles, because you are neighbors. So if you use the alternative dispute resolution to solve these matters, the better. As NLC, we are there to engage and also carry out that ADR for the parties.
Thank you.
That is, if possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We appreciate it very much.
I think we are in agreement.
Okay, in agreement.
We are in agreement. There is another date that is set. And the matter being handled in a more concrete way. We have information that our area bishop, who is the representative of the trustee on the ground, had an accident yesterday, and therefore, even if we wanted him to come today, he will not be here. So let us say that on a convenient date, this matter will be handled with more grips, having the word of the trustee and the blessings all around. Yes. So I do agree.
Thank you. We wish Bishop a quick recovery. So I'm seeing a date of 4th June, if convenient to both parties.
4th of June.
Yeah, 4th of June, if convenient to both parties.
And which one the following? 11th?
11th?
It will be convenient for me. 11th?
11th?
Was it?
Peter?
Bishop, which side? What is the deal for you?
Eleventh June. 11th of June.
If it is convenient to the commission,
Yeah.
is it convenient to us?
So we put it 11th of June, and then. Pardon?
11 o'clock.
Yeah, 11 o'clock.
11 is better, so
Yeah.
that go through my first cases in the morning.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, 11th of June, and then also I'll write invitation letters as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the mode of distribution of letters, was it okay, or there was any hitch?
Okay, we received it.
It was through the area assistant chief. Yeah. Okay. I think that's okay. So during that particular day, because hopefully all the both trustees from both sides will be available. So bring any documentation copies, and then we see if this within the mandate of NLC, we shall discuss. And then from there now give the report, preliminary report to the NLC headquarters. Yeah. Thank you. There's a cup of tea.
Maybe somebody can say,
Yeah, yeah.